What I'm doing right now is cleaning up the pieces that I cut out with the plasma cutter, where I'm building a 2x72 belt grinder, and I'm doing a little bit different than what most people do. I'll actually be using these two pieces for the main body. Up here at the top, I will have the tracking and tensioner pulley on an arm with a spring attached down here, so I can actually release the tension to take the belts on and off. I'll do two flat pieces in here that'll create the box for the 2x2" box tubing that will actually hold the plenum. I've cut out the piece and everything and off the plenum and stuff. I've got the bolts and all that I need, so I'm going to finish cleaning this up and get some more video of things being shot, put together and stuff, and all on the first test run. I've got a motor that's 1 horsepower rated at 1800 RPMs. It should run between 1750, 1775 actual RPM. With a 5-inch drive pulley, that should put me somewhere right around 4,000 surface feet per minute with a 2x72 belt. Now, what that means is that'll actually be an optimal speed and everything and all for really being able to clean up some bevels and stuff and all fast on the knives that I forge in, because let's face it, that 1x30 I was using, it'd take me an hour to clean up the bevel I'd forged into 80%. This, I mean, you know, I should be able to clean them up in under 5 minutes. Now, that being said, for anybody that's interested and knows about Blade Show 2019, I will be at table 25-0. This will be my first time there, and I'm looking to have somewhere between 200 and 300 different knives on hand. I've still got some orders and stuff to finish up and everything and all, and I will also have a little display of the different knives that I do for the mud bums, but those will not be for sale because the only place you can buy those is through the mud bums. I do them solely for them on those knives. I'll have examples of my 4 production knives as well as some one-offs and everything and all like that. Now, I've been a little busy in the forge, and if you'll pardon me for just a little bit of movement, I now have a small propane forge, and I also have cut out some templates to measure things against for my production knives and some of the other knives that I'll actually be doing several 4-blade show. I'm going to end up setting my 2x72 up right here. My coal forge is there, propane forge is there, anvil's there. So I should be able to stay relatively busy and not have to run all over the place. Right now, until I get the 100-gallon tank that I'm going to have installed and run permanent piping across the top with lines coming down, I'm just using this because this is actually the forge that I built for demonstration to be able to take out the places and all to run off a 20-pound bottle. I also have a rivet forge and everything and all that I take out for demonstration, and I know right now I'm kind of rattling things off kind of fast, but that's because I really want to try to keep this video as short as possible while getting as much information as possible. Don't forget to go take a look at the giveaway announcement from February last year on the laminated Damascus Skinner. Like, subscribe to that video, subscribe to the channel, like that video, comment on it, share it, tell your friends about it, bring them over to the channel, let them see what I do between the leather work, forge work and stuff like that, and little things that I'm making and stuff. Just, you know, if you like the channel, share it. Like, subscribe, share. Check me out on Facebook under Fiery Pit Forge. Take a look at the website. Links are down in the description. I appreciate y'all doing all this and everything and all. Later on, I'll actually have an unboxing of a mail call sent to me from a buddy from Washington State or Oregon. I'll have to double check the address. Know him from several little knife groups and stuff like that and all, and some of the EDC groups and all that I belong to on Facebook. Really cool guy. And I'm looking forward to that and doing some stuff with things that he sent me. Alright, I've got the rough frame and my horrible welding done on it for the most part. Still got to do a base plate, drill these holes. But this is the box tubing we'll be using. Slides in and out, nice and easy. And then what I will do is I will actually do a bolt here on the back with a hole to where I can tighten it down in the position that I want. So I mean I could actually bring it all the way out to there if need be. Hopefully I won't have to pull it out that far in order to get it to have enough tension on the belt. I'm going to grind down some of these and keep on working at it. This is 3/16 inch steel plate, and I had a couple scrap pieces and everything, and also I was able to cut some of that out. But yeah, I'm better with a stick welder than I am with a wire welder. My stick welder's down right now, so my welds are absolutely horrible. But I did do some guerrilla welding, so they should hold quite well. They're just ugly. I may try to do something to dress it up a little later on. After I'm done, it will get a coat of paint. But I'm going to keep on moving forward. Alright, working on getting the plan together. As you can see over there, I've got the majority of the frame and all together, and working on the arm with the plenum. Then I will square off the motor mark and temporarily put it on to kind of square off everything and make sure that I can do a test run and make sure the tracking and all is right. To handle with the tracking, it's a simple hinge. I decided that I'm not going to do the tensioner arm. What I'm actually going to end up doing is a spring on the arm that holds the plenum that'll keep tension. We'll see how that goes. I may end up having to, upgrade the spring from what I've got and all, but I've got one that should work pretty well. But yeah, so back to the grind. Okay. What I did was just grind off one of the tack welds that I did and everything and all, because I don't know if you can see it, but right here, this side lifted up. When I did it, what I should have done was done this one, come back here, do one, and then done this one out here instead of doing both of those and then coming over to put a couple of there. So I'm going to work on, well, good old-fashioned redneck engineering. And then come in and clamp that to where it'll hold it tight for me to weld it, and that way it doesn't end up kicking off the angle of the plenum when I put it on here. I'm also going to take and do a hole here with the nut on the outside and make a handle to tighten down, so that once the tension is back on it, I can tighten it down and keep it from just pushing in if I apply heavy pressure and moving the spring. So that's how I'm going to work that. Alright, I'll get this straightened out and see you in a bit. Alright, I've got the hinge and bolt and all on, and the all thread run through 2 bolts that's welded to the frame so I can adjust tracking. I'm actually about to notch this out and weld it on here as a T-handle, as a handle, so I can make quick adjustments. I've got the the bracket that's going to hold the plenum once I get it done. And yes, this will end up getting painted, because let's face it, my welds and stuff are absolutely horrible when it comes to a wire welder. Hopefully I'll get my stick welder fixed sometime soon. But yeah, so it's a little bit colder today than it has been the past couple of days, which was a big, big difference for me. So let me grab my face shield and go ahead and notch this out. That should do, and I know it's going to be a little hot, so. That way I can just basically weld it on there and have something I can reach up, grab real fast, and rotate it. I'm going to go round off these ends and I'll be right back after that. Alright, got the handle welded on. Cleaned it up a little bit, rounded the top, tapered the back end. That allows me to just quickly come over and adjust the tracking over here. Not a big old huge adjustment, but it shouldn't take much. Alright, and then I've got the slot cut out where the spring will attach to the box tube. I'll actually end up putting a piece on here. Spring will attach to and attach it back here so that it pulls out towards the front. I've still got to do a little hole here, put a nut on the outside and all with a something similar to this that I'll be able to take and tighten down to lock it in once the tension's on there, so I don't have to worry about when I press hard or anything on the plenum when I'm grinding bevels or anything like that. But so far so good. Did a little, like I said, did a little change in design. Instead of doing the tension arm here, I decided to go this route. I think it'll work better for me. The motor will actually mount right back here. I'm going to start work on the actual plenum that the belt will ride against, and when I grind and all. So we'll see how that turns out. What I have done here is mocked up to where this will run flush with the front of these rollers. I've marked in the back where I will end up welding the bracket. Then I will come back and adjust this faceplate to where it's centered on these rollers. And that way I'll be able to adjust tracking to center it on that, and should be able to, have it run properly. Be back after that. Right. Here it is. Franken grinder. 1 horsepower agricultural motor. The adjustment for tracking. I made a crown and all on the cheap pulley that I got so that it would track easier. And I'll get it set up. Set the camera up on the stand and I'll let you see what it does. Got the tracking adjusted fairly well. Quick start. Alright, I've still got to fine tune the tracking, and I'm going to make a work table that'll come off of it that'll actually mount to the bottom of this and leave room for me to be able to slide the belts on and off. But all in all, not too bad. Best $300 I've ever spent. To change belts, it's literally just a spring system. Get enough slack to slide the belts off, and then keep them tightened up. Next month, I'll probably get a variable frequency disruptor. I've actually mounted the switch right here for access away from there, so I don't have to reach back over anything. But there it is. Aside from the pulleys and the motor, pretty much everything was scrap. I had some old scrap plate steel. Here's another piece of it. I've got some left. The box tube and all was actually a piece of scrap. So I mean, again, you know, to have something that's functional and that will get the job done, you don't have to spend an arm and a leg. I mean, now, would I purchase a high quality variable speed belt grinder if I had the money? You betcha. But for those of us that are just getting started off and trying to make, you know, money and stuff and all with this, and don't have the finances to sink, you know, $1,500 or more into a belt grinder, or, you know, $800 into a propane forge and stuff. These are options that you can do. So I hope that you've enjoyed the video, and comment below whether I should end up painting this monstrosity or just leave it look like a Franken grinder. All right, y'all have a blessed one.